The stars look different from here. Captain Jiho Park stood on the bridge of the UES Dauntless, Earth's first and only faster-than-light ship. He watched the main screen as unknown stars filled the view. Humanity had finally broken free of their solar system. Status report, Jiho said. His voice was calm, but his hands gripped the rail tightly. All systems normal, Captain, said Commander Tayun. He tapped at his screen, checking the ship's vital signs. The jump was perfect. We are now 4.2 light-years from Earth. Engineer. Minji looked up from her station. The engine needs 2 hours to cool down before we can jump again. Her eyes were bright with excitement. We did it, Captain. We actually did it. Jiho allowed himself a small smile. The UES Dauntless wasn't big, just 120 meters long with a crew of 50, but it represented 20 years of work by Earth's best minds. It was mankind's first step to the stars. Where exactly are we, Do-hyun? Jiho asked. Science Officer Do-hyun checked his screens. We're in the Proxima Centauri system, Captain, just as planned. He pointed to a small red star. That's the nearest star to our sun. Any signs of planets? Or life? Jiho asked. Do-hyun was about to answer when his console started beeping loudly. He stared at it in shock. Captain, I'm picking up artificial signals. Lots of them. The bridge went silent. You mean radio signals? Jiho asked carefully. From a civilization? No, sir. Do-hyun's voice shook slightly. I mean ships, hundreds of them, coming this way. Jiho's heart beat faster, but he kept his face calm. This was what they had dreamed of, first contact with alien life. But why so many ships? Put them on screen, he ordered. The main screen changed. What they saw made everyone gasp. Hundreds of ships filled the space before them. They were different shapes and sizes, but all clearly built for war. Their designs were strange. Some looked like sea creatures, others like insects, but all had the same symbol on their hulls. They're forming a half-circle around us, Tayun said. Standard attack formation. We're being scanned, Minji reported, checking her readings. Their technology it's far beyond ours, Captain. Jiho's mind raced. The Dauntless carried only light weapons for defense. It was built for exploration, not war. Running wasn't an option either. The jump engine was still cooling down. Open a channel, Jiho ordered. All frequencies. Let's try to talk to them. Channel open, said Communications Officer Hana. Her hands moved quickly over her console. Jiho took a deep breath. This is Captain Jiho Park of the UES Dauntless. We come from Earth. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration. We mean no harm. For a long moment, there was silence. Then the screen flickered and showed an alien face. It had purple skin with no hair. Its eyes were large and black with no whites. Its mouth was small and lipless. Human vessel, the alien said in perfect English. I am Admiral Klix of the Galactic Confederation. Your presence here violates the quarantine of your system. Jiho blinked in surprise. Quarantine? We had no knowledge of any quarantine. We've only just developed the technology to travel between stars. The alien's face showed no emotion. Your species has been under observation for 300 years. The Confederation decided your kind was too violent, too unpredictable to join galactic society. A chill ran down Jiho's spine. This wasn't first contact. They had been watched for centuries. We've come in peace, Jiho said firmly. We seek only knowledge and friendship. Your history speaks otherwise, Admiral Klix replied. You humans fight constantly among yourselves. You destroy your own environment. You are aggressive and unpredictable. The Confederation cannot allow such a species to spread among the stars. Jiho felt anger rising but kept his voice level. With respect, Admiral, you can't judge an entire species by its worst moments. Yes, we've made mistakes. But we've also created art, music, literature. We've cured diseases. We've learned to cooperate across nations. Your words change nothing, Klix said. The decision was made long ago. Your ship will be destroyed as a warning to Earth. The quarantine will continue. Hana cut the connection. They're charging weapons, Captain. Jiho's mind raced. There was no way they could fight. But surrender meant death. What would happen to Earth if the Confederation decided humans were too dangerous to exist? Options? He asked his crew. We can't outrun them, Taiyun said. And we can't fight them. Maybe we can, Minji said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at her. The jump engine works by creating a bubble of energy around the ship. What if we modify it to act as a shield? That would require reconfiguring the entire power system, Taiyun objected. No, Do-hyun said slowly, his eyes lighting up. Not if we use the quantum field generator. It's experimental, but it might work. Jiho made his decision. Do it. How? Long? 10 minutes, Minji said. Maybe less. Jiho nodded. Taiyun, prepare evasive maneuvers. Hana, open the channel again. Admiral Clicks appeared on screen. Your time is up, human. Surrender now. We won't surrender, Jiho said calmly. But I ask you to reconsider. If you attack us, you'll be confirming everything you believe about humans. That we're only worthy of destruction. Is that justice? Is that the example your Confederation wants to set? Clix's black eyes narrowed. You speak of justice while your history is filled with injustice. You speak of peace while your planet is scarred by war. Final warning, human vessel. Your species is deemed too unstable for integration. Surrender for processing or be destroyed. The screen went dark. They're moving into attack position, Taiyun reported. Multiple weapons locking onto us. Minji? Jiho asked urgently. Almost there, Captain, she said, her fingers flying over her controls. Linking the quantum field to the jump drive. Now. A blue glow surrounded the Dauntless just as the first alien weapons fired. The ship shook violently, but held together. It's working, Do-hyun shouted. The quantum field is absorbing their energy weapons. Not for long, Minji warned. The system is overloading. We need to strike back now. Jiho had never wanted to start a war. They were explorers, not warriors. But sometimes you didn't get to choose your battles, only how you fought them. Target. Their lead ships, he ordered. Use the absorbed energy to boost our own weapons. The Dauntless fired back. Against all odds, against an enemy with far superior technology, one human ship was fighting for its life, and for the future of all, humanity. The Galactic Confederation was about to learn why quarantining humans had been their biggest mistake. The UES Dauntless shook as another blast hit its shields. The blue glow around the ship flickered but held. Shields at 63%, reported Minji. Her face was covered in sweat, but her eyes shone with determination. The quantum field is holding, but not for long. Captain Jiho Park gripped his chair as the ship rocked again. Around him the bridge crew worked with focused intensity. They were outnumbered and outgunned, but they refused to give up. Status of the enemy fleet? Jiho asked. Commander. Taiyun studied his screen. They're surrounding us in a sphere formation. They seem confused by our defenses. On the main screen, hundreds of alien ships moved in complex patterns. Their technology was far beyond Earth's, yet they couldn't break through the Dauntless's improvised shields. They're not used to fighting, said Science Officer Do-hyun suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. Look at their movement patterns. They're following textbook formations. No creativity, no adaptation. Jiho understood immediately. The Admiral said the Confederation has been united for thousands of years. Maybe they haven't fought a real battle in all that time. While we come from a planet where conflict has driven innovation, said Taiyun grimly. He had served in Earth's military before joining the Dauntless crew. Jiho's mind raced. They couldn't escape yet. The jump drive still needed more time to cool, and they couldn't hold out forever against such overwhelming numbers. But maybe they could fight back in a way the aliens wouldn't expect. Minji, he said. You said the quantum field is absorbing their energy weapons. Can we use that energy? Minji's eyes widened. Yes. Yes, we can. If I reconfigure the field emitters, we could channel the absorbed energy back as a weapon. Ordered Jiho. Taeyun, I need an attack plan that will cause maximum confusion. Sir, said Communications Officer Hana, Admiral Klix is hailing us again. On screen, said Jiho. The alien admiral appeared, his black eyes narrowed in what might have been confusion. Your ship should have been destroyed by now, human. What trickery is this? Not trickery, replied Jiho calmly. Just human ingenuity. We don't want this fight, Admiral. Stand down your forces and let's talk. Impossible, hissed Klix. The Confederation does not negotiate with quarantined species. Your resistance changes nothing. It changes everything, said Jiho. You thought we would be easy to destroy. You were wrong. What else might you be wrong about? Before Klix could answer, Minji called out, Captain, energy redirection system ready. Jiho cut the connection. Target their command vessels. Do-hyun, can you identify them? Already done, sir, Do-hyun replied, pointing to his screen where 7 ships were highlighted. These larger vessels are coordinating the attack patterns. Taeyun, evasive pattern Delta, ordered Jiho. Minji, fire when ready. The Dauntless suddenly changed course, diving straight toward the center of the alien formation. The unexpected move caused momentary confusion among the Confederation ships. Firing now, shouted Minji. The blue shield around the Dauntless pulsed. Then 7 beams of concentrated energy shot out in different directions. Each beam struck one of the Confederation command ships with pinpoint accuracy. The effect was immediate. The alien vessel's lights flickered and they began to drift. Direct hits, reported Taeyun. Their command ships are disabled. On the main screen, chaos erupted among the Confederation fleet. Without their command ships, their perfect formation broke apart. Some vessels drifted into each other, others fired at empty space where the Dauntless had been moments before. Their fleet operates on centralized control, said Do-hyun in wonder. They have no individual initiative. Jiho saw their chance. Minji, how much longer until the jump drive? Is ready? 30 minutes, Captain, she replied. Too long, said Jiho. We need to buy more time. He turned to Taeyun. Target their weapon systems. Disable as many ships as you can without destroying them. The Dauntless moved with surprising agility for its size, weaving between the larger alien vessels. With each pass, they fired precise energy beams that cut through the Confederation ships' weapon arrays. In the Admiral's flagship, Klix watched in growing horror. How was this happening? One primitive human vessel was cutting through the might of the Confederation fleet like it wasn't there. The tactical computers couldn't predict the human ship's movements. They were too random, too illogical. Sir, reported his second-in-command, 43% of our vessels have lost weapons. Capability, the human ship is targeting our power cores now. Impossible, whispered Klix. In 3,000 years of service, he had never failed a mission. Yet now, faced with a single ship from a quarantined world, his mighty fleet was falling apart. Back, on the Dauntless, the crew worked with perfect coordination. Do-hyun identified weaknesses in the alien ships. Taeyun plotted attack vectors that no computer would predict. Minji kept the shields and weapons at maximum efficiency, and Jiho made split-second decisions that kept them one step ahead of the enemy. Jump drive status? Asked Jiho as the ship shuddered from a glancing blow. 20 minutes, Captain, replied Minji. But shields are down to 31%. We can't take much more of this. Jiho nodded. They had done the impossible, but they couldn't. Win this fight, only survive it. Hana, send a message to Earth. Send everything. Battle data, scans of the alien ships, recordings of our communications with Admiral Klix. They need to know what's out here. Message prepared, said Hana after a moment. But sir, even at light speed, it will take 4.2 years to reach Earth. Send it anyway, ordered Jiho. And prepare a jump calculation. We need to... Captain, interrupted Do-hyun. I'm detecting new energy signatures, massive ones coming from the direction of Earth. The main screen shifted to show a new area of space. What they saw made everyone on the bridge fall silent. 5 ships appeared out of nowhere. They were human ships, each twice the size of the Dauntless. They all bore the Earth United Space Force insignia. This is Admiral Hana Kim of the EUSF Defender, came a woman's voice over the comm system. Captain Park, your distress signal was received. Hold position, we're coming to you. Jiho stared in shock. How is this possible? Earth doesn't have more FTL ships, and how did they get our signal so quickly? Before anyone could answer, the 5 Earth ships opened fire on the Confederation fleet. Their weapons were unlike anything the Dauntless carried. Precise, powerful beams that cut through alien shields like they weren't there. Captain, said Do-hyun in a shaking voice. Those ships are using technology I've never seen before. And their energy signatures. They're not like anything in our database. Jiho watched as the new Earth ships tore through the alien fleet with terrifying efficiency. He should have felt relief, but instead a chill ran down his spine. Something was very wrong. Earth didn't have this technology, and no message could have reached Earth and brought reinforcements so quickly. So who, or what, were these ships that had come to their rescue? The battle was turning in humanity's favor, but the real mystery was just beginning. Prepare to be boarded, Captain Park, said the voice claiming to be Admiral Hana Kim. For security purposes. Jiho exchanged worried glances with his crew. The 5 Earth ships had destroyed or disabled a third of the Confederation fleet in minutes. The rest had retreated to regroup. Who are they, really? Whispered Taeyun. Earth doesn't have this technology. And no message could travel faster than light, added Do-hyun. They couldn't possibly know we were in trouble. Jiho made his decision. Minji, can you get the jump drive ready? 10 more minutes, Captain, she replied quietly. Hana, keep the channel open but mute it, ordered Jiho. I want to hear what they say, but I don't want them to hear us. The main screen showed one of the mystery ships approaching. It was bigger than the Dauntless, with sleek lines and weapons unlike anything built on Earth. Captain, said Do-hyun suddenly, pointing to his screen. I'm detecting unusual readings from those ships. Their energy signature doesn't match any known human technology. Before Jiho could respond, the ship closest to them fired. Not at the Dauntless, but at the space beside it. A section of empty space rippled, and then a small vessel appeared. It had been invisible. Cloaking technology, breathed Minji in awe. They can detect cloaked ships. The small vessel tried to escape, but another beam from the Earth ship disabled it instantly. Captain, said Hana, I'm receiving a new transmission. It's coming from that small ship they just revealed. Put it through, said Jiho. The screen split to show a new alien face. This one looked more human-like than Admiral Click's. It had pale blue skin, white hair, and large silver eyes. Human vessel, I am Elder Run of the Telosian Watchers, said the alien in a soft voice. The ships, claiming to be your allies, are not what they seem. They are mimics, a faction of the Confederation that copies the technology and appearance of other species. Jiho's mind raced. Why would they pretend to be human ships? To gain your trust, replied Elder Run. The Confederation fears what? They don't understand, and they don't understand humans. Your ship has done the impossible today. The mimics want to study you, to learn your weaknesses. On the other half of the screen, the face of a human woman appeared. Admiral Kim, or whoever was pretending to be her. Captain Park, don't listen to Telosian lies, she said sharply. They've been manipulating species across the galaxy for centuries. Jiho looked between the two faces on the screen, trying to decide who to trust. Both could be lying. Both could want something from the Dauntless. Why was Earth quarantined? He asked both of them. Tell me the truth. Elder Run answered first. Because the Confederation fears you. Their predictive models showed that within 100 years of joining the galactic community, humans would become its leaders. Your adaptability, your creativity, your drive to overcome impossible odds, these qualities are rare in the galaxy. The woman calling herself Admiral Kim laughed. More lies. The quarantine exists because humans are dangerous. Your history of violence is no worse than any developing species, interrupted Elder Run. The real reason is that humans solve problems in ways the Confederation cannot predict, like you did today, Captain Park. Jiho turned to Do-hyun. What do your scans say about these ships, the ones claiming to be from Earth? Do-hyun studied his screens. Their hulls appear human-made, but the energy readings are all wrong, and I'm detecting life signs that aren't human. Minji, jump drive status? Asked Jiho quietly. Ready, Captain, she replied. Just give the word. On the screen, the false Admiral Kim's expression hardened. We've wasted enough time. Prepare to be boarded, Captain Park. Your ship and crew will be studied. Your data will help us understand and control humanity. Jiho made his decision. Hana, send a message to Earth. Everything we've learned. Warn them about the Confederation and these mimics. But, Captain, it will take years to reach Earth, said Hana. The Telosians can help with that, said Elder Rune. We have communication technology that can reach Earth instantly, if you trust us. Jiho looked at the Telosian elder. The alien seemed sincere, but how could he be sure? Yet the alternative was capture by the mimics. Elder Rune, if I come aboard your vessel with a small team, will you help us contact Earth? Asked Jiho. It would be my honor, Captain, replied the elder with a small bow. Captain, this is unwise, protested Taeyun. We don't know if we can trust the Telosians either. We don't, agreed Jiho. But we know we can't trust the mimics. And we need allies. The ship shuddered as the mimic vessel tried to lock on with a tractor beam. Minji, prepare for jump, ordered Jiho. Coordinates, directly beside the Telosian ship. The false Admiral Kim's face twisted with anger. You will regret this decision, human. The Confederation will. Jiho cut the transmission. Minji, jump now. The stars blurred, and the Dauntless vanished, reappearing moments later beside the small Telosian vessel. The mimic ships immediately began to move toward them. Elder Rune, we don't have much time, said Jiho urgently. Follow us, Captain, replied the Telosian. We have a safe location not far from here. The Telosian ship began to move and the Dauntless followed. Behind them, the mimic ships pursued, but they seemed hesitant to fire, as if they wanted the Dauntless intact. They're gaining on us, reported Taeyun. Our jump drive needs time to cool again. Captain, said Do-hyun excitedly, the Telosian ship is creating some kind of tunnel in space ahead of us. On the screen, they could see a swirling blue passage opening up before the Telosian vessel. It's a wormhole, said Elder Rune over the comm. Follow us through. The mimics cannot track us inside. Jiho hesitated for only a moment. Follow them. In. The Dauntless entered the swirling blue tunnel. The ship shook violently, instruments went crazy, and for a terrifying moment, Jiho thought they had made a fatal mistake. Then everything stabilized. They emerged in a completely different part of space. Before them was a massive space station, hidden within the rings of a gas giant. Dozens of ships of different designs moved around it. Welcome to Haven, said Elder Rune. A place hidden from the Confederation. Here, species from across the galaxy work together, free from Confederation control. As the Dauntless approached the station, Jiho saw ships of designs he couldn't even comprehend. Some seemed to be made of crystal, others of living tissue. Some changed shape as he watched. There are others who resist the Confederation, asked Jiho in wonder. Many others, confirmed Elder Rune. For thousands of years, the Confederation has claimed to protect the galaxy. In truth, they control it, suppressing any species they cannot predict or dominate. And now they know about humans, said Jiho grimly. They'll see us as a threat. They already do, said Elder Rune, but they didn't expect humans to fight back so effectively. One ship, your ship, Captain Park, has shown the galaxy that the Confederation isn't invincible. As the Dauntless docked with the station, Jiho saw beings of all shapes and sizes, watching from observation windows. Some pointed at the human ship with what looked like excitement. News of your victory is spreading across the galaxy, explained Elder Rune. Many have been waiting for a sign that the Confederation could be challenged. Your crew has given them hope. Jiho looked back at his crew, Taeyun, Minji, Do-hyun, Hana, and the others. They had left Earth as explorers. Now they found themselves at the center of a galactic conflict. "We need to warn Earth," said Jiho. "The Confederation might decide humans are too dangerous to allow to exist at all." "We will help you send a message," promised Elder Run. "But there is much you need to learn first, Captain. About the true history of the galaxy, and about the war that is coming." Jiho nodded slowly. One human ship had appeared among the stars and unwittingly started a war with the galaxy. Now they had to make sure humanity was ready for what came next. 3 months had passed since the UES Dauntless found refuge at Haven Station. Captain Jiho Park stood in the station's central command room, looking at a giant holographic map of the galaxy. Red dots showed Confederation strongholds. Blue dots showed worlds that had declared independence since news of the Dauntless's victory spread. There were a lot of blue dots. "The Axuri home system declared independence yesterday," said Elder Run, pointing to a newly blue dot. "That makes 42 worlds that have broken from Confederation control." "All because of one battle?" asked Jiho, still finding it hard to believe. "One battle that proved the Confederation isn't all-powerful," said Rune. "Many species have suffered under their rule for centuries. They were just waiting for proof that resistance was possible." Jiho nodded slowly. In the past 3 months he had learned much about the true nature of the Confederation. They claimed to protect the galaxy, but in reality, they controlled it, through fear and manipulation. "Any word from Earth?" he asked. Rune nodded. "Our message arrived safely. Your world leaders are preparing defenses. They've accelerated the building of new ships based on the data you sent." "Will it be enough?" asked Taeyun, who had entered the room behind Jiho. "The Confederation has thousands of years of technological advancement over us." "Technology isn't everything," said Minji, joining them. She had spent weeks studying alien technology at Haven, working with engineers from a dozen different species. "The Confederation has become stagnant. They haven't faced a real challenge in millennia." "While humans," said Do-yun, looking up from his datapad, "evolved on a planet that forced us to adapt constantly. We had to solve problems just to survive." The door opened again, and Hana rushed in. Her face was pale. "Captain, we're receiving an emergency transmission from Earth. The Confederation has launched an attack." Jiho's heart sank. "Put it on screen." The holographic map disappeared, replaced by the face of General Jin from Earth United Space Force Command. Behind him, alarms were blaring. "Captain Park, if you're receiving this, the situation is critical," said General Jin. "A Confederation fleet entered our system 6 hours ago. They're demanding Earth's surrender and your crew's return for processing. We've deployed our defense fleet, but we're outnumbered and outgunned." The general's image flickered. "We've managed to evacuate key personnel to Mars base, but Earth's defenses can't hold much longer. If you've found allies out there, we need them now." The transmission ended abruptly. Jiho turned to Elder Rune. "How many ships can Haven provide to help Earth?" Rune looked troubled. "Our fleet is small, Captain, and scattered across the galaxy. We could perhaps gather 30 vessels in time." 30 against a Confederation attack fleet," said Taeyun with a grim laugh. "Not enough." Jiho paced the room, thinking hard. They needed more ships, more allies. He stopped suddenly. The blue dots, the worlds that declared independence. "What about them?" asked Rune. "They all broke away because of what the Dauntless did," said Jiho. "One human ship inspired them. What if we ask them to help us now?" Rune's silver eyes widened. "A coalition? It's never been attempted. These worlds have their own concerns, their own reasons for opposing the Confederation. But they all share one thing," said Jiho firmly. "They all want freedom from Confederation control. If Earth falls, the Confederation will be emboldened. They'll crack down harder on everyone." Rune was silent for a moment, then nodded. "I will. Send the call. But Captain, even if all respond, we would need weeks to gather such a fleet." "Earth doesn't have weeks," said Taeyun. "No," agreed Jiho. "But it has the Dauntless, and now we know what we're up against." 3 days later, the UES Dauntless jumped into Earth's solar system, Jiho and his crew had spent those days modifying their ship with technology from Haven. The Dauntless that returned was not the same vessel that had left. The scene that greeted them was grim. A massive Confederation fleet surrounded Earth. Debris from destroyed Earth ships floated in space. The planet's orbital defense platforms were silent, presumably destroyed. "Any response to our hails?" asked Jiho. "None from Earth," replied Hana. "But I'm picking up a Confederation broadcast, system-wide." On screen, ordered Jiho, Admiral Clix's face appeared. "People of Earth, your defiance has cost you dearly. Your space fleet is destroyed. Your defenses are broken. Surrender now or we will begin planetary bombardment in 12 Earth hours." Jiho cut the transmission. "Status of our new systems?" "Shields at full power," reported Minji. "The Telosian upgrades are working perfectly." "Weapons ready," said Tayun. "Though we're still just one ship against hundreds. We only need to hold them off until reinforcements arrive," said Jiho. "Hana, broadcast on all frequencies. I want both Earth and the Confederation to hear this." Hana nodded. "Channel open, Captain." Jiho took a deep breath. "This is Captain Jiho Park of the UES Dauntless. Admiral Clix, I'm offering you one chance to withdraw your forces and leave Earth in peace." The screen split, showing Clix's surprised face. "The famous Captain Park returns. Your offer is noted and rejected. One ship cannot change the outcome here, Captain, no matter what tricks you used before." "I'm not alone," said Jiho calmly. "Earth has more friends than you know." "Meaningless bluster," sneered Clix. "No help is coming for Earth. The Confederation rules the galaxy." "Not anymore," replied Jiho. "Look to your long-range sensors, Admiral." On the bridge of his flagship, Admiral Clix frowned as his officers reported unusual readings from the edge of the solar system. Moments later, space seemed to tear open in a dozen places. Ships began to emerge. Not just a few, but hundreds. Ships, of every size and design, from sleek Telosian vessels to massive Exuri war platforms. Ships from 40 independent worlds, answering humanity's call. "What is this?" demanded Clix, his composure finally breaking. "This is the future," said Jiho. "A galaxy where species work together as equals, not under the boot of the Confederation. A galaxy where differences are celebrated, not controlled." The Allied fleet moved into formation around the Dauntless. In the lead was Elder Run's ship, now upgraded with weapons that could match any Confederation vessel. "Your choice, Admiral," said Jiho. "Leave in peace, or face a war you cannot win." For the first time, uncertainty showed on Clix's face. His fleet outnumbered the Allies, but not by much. And these were ships from across the galaxy with technologies the Confederation might not understand. "You think this changes anything?" Clix finally said. "The Confederation has ruled for 50,000 years. We cannot be overthrown by upstarts and rebels." "You already have been," replied Jiho. "Look at your star map, Admiral. How many worlds have declared independence in the past 3 months? How many more will follow when they see this fleet?" The Allied ships moved closer. Earth's remaining defenses, sensing the change in the battle, began to power up again. Clix's face hardened. "This isn't over, human. The Confederation will adapt or it will fall," interrupted Jiho. "Those are the choices history offers to empires." For a long moment, no one spoke. Then, slowly, the Confederation ships began to pull back. "Tactical retreat only, human," said Clix stiffly. "The Confederation Council will decide Earth's fate." "No," said Jiho firmly. "Earth will decide its own fate, as will every world in this galaxy." As the Confederation fleet jumped away, cheers erupted from Earth's communication channels. The Dauntless had returned, bringing with it an alliance that changed the balance of power in the galaxy forever. In the Haven command room months earlier, Rune had told Jiho, "One human ship has shown the galaxy that the Confederation isn't invincible." Now, as Jiho looked at the gathered fleet of free worlds, he understood just how true those words had been. The war wasn't over. It had barely begun. But for the first time in 50,000 years, the outcome wasn't certain. The future was unwritten, and if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was shaping the future that others thought impossible. "Captain," said Tayun with a rare smile, "I believe Earth would like to thank its defenders." Jiho nodded. "Open a channel, Hana. Let's introduce our new allies to humanity." As the Dauntless began its approach to Earth, Jiho thought about how their journey had started. One ship, one crew, one simple mission of exploration. They had found so much more than they ever expected. Enemies, allies, and a galaxy on the brink of transformation. And it had all begun when one human ship appeared and started a war with the galaxy. The end.